In July 2026, the technology sector began rapidly contracting. Facing a sharp economic downturn, the major players in gaming, finance, and social media started cutting deep into their core operations to protect their margins. The gaming industry saw one of the most visible retreats. Microsoft cut 350 jobs across Xbox and Bethesda, targeting teams that were supposed to be the engine behind the company's next decade of software. Bethesda executive director Todd Howard described the day as a professional low point, stating in a leaked internal email that the studio had to make difficult workforce decisions to keep its projects on a viable financial path. While human developers were being let go, the financial sector was leaning further into automation. Retail platforms began deploying AI-driven trading bots to manage user portfolios, replacing human financial strategy with large language models. Simultaneously, social media feeds were becoming saturated with artificially generated content as high-engagement AI images began to drown out real posts from human creators. These shifts indicate a broader structural change. As tech giants prioritize automation and digital assets to please their shareholders, they risk alienating the very users who provide their revenue. To understand the risks of this strategy, we have to look back 15 years. In 2011, the gaming market relied heavily on physical discs, and trading used games was a primary way to afford new releases. Sony attempted to capture a piece of that used market with the PlayStation Online Pass. If you bought a pre-owned copy of a game, you were required to pay an additional $10 fee just to access the multiplayer modes. From Sony's perspective, this was a matter of recapturing lost revenue. Used games accounted for 30% of physical sales in the US, generating no royalties for publishers. But the plan failed. Customers saw the fee as a penalty, and demand for new games declined because their resale value was destroyed. Sony abandoned the Online Pass in 2013, shifting toward providing value through its PlayStation Plus subscription. It was a clear signal that companies cannot successfully extract profit by creating barriers. They have to offer something users actually want to pay for. Returning to 2026, Microsoft is applying a similar logic to its Game Pass service. The company is now prioritizing recurring subscription revenue over the traditional model of selling individual $60 games. This shift is changing how the company manages its creative teams. By cutting experienced staff to reduce overhead, Microsoft is pushing the release of flagship titles like Elder Scrolls 6 as far back as 2030. In finance, Robinhood is also moving toward an automated model. CEO Vlad Tenev announced a new AI agent designed to execute trades without any manual input from the user, relying on market data patterns. This graphic shows a dollar-cost averaging strategy, where the bot invests a set amount at these fixed intervals. By buying consistently regardless of the price fluctuations, the system attempts to lower the average cost of an asset over time. This digital transition is gaining institutional support. Morgan Stanley, led by James Gorman, recently allocated roughly $2 billion to Ethereum and Solana ETFs, marking the first time a major Wall Street bank has officially backed altcoin assets at this scale. These moves in gaming and finance show an industry-wide attempt to replace human-intensive processes with digital systems and automated trading to protect the bottom line. While institutions and corporations are rushing toward automation, the users on the other side of the screen are beginning to push back. In early July, Meta announced it would start downranking and removing AI-generated images from Instagram. The decision followed a period of intense user frustration with the quality of the platform's content. Users complained that their feeds were becoming cluttered with artificial engagement bait. They were no longer seeing photos from friends, but rather algorithmically generated landscapes, and were demanding a return to real, authentic human photography. This friction between corporate efficiency and user trust mirrors the sentiment that forced Sony to retreat in 2013. Whether it's a $10 fee or an AI-cluttered feed, consumers eventually reject strategies that prioritize profit over the user experience. In a tech landscape increasingly defined by algorithms, long-term survival requires using these new tools to prioritize human value over pure data-driven extraction.